Hi everybody. Today we're going to talk a little bit about how you can add some more ideas to your notebook. Um, let's see. Look at my messy desktop. Isn't that awful? I have got to get things cleaned up. Okay, here we go. Whoops. Sorry. All right. So, like I said, here's a strategy for finding ideas for your story topics. This is real important. So everybody has some sort of a neighborhood. Sometimes it's just a few houses together. Sometimes it's kind of a downtown area like is pictured on this photograph. But when you grow up in a neighborhood, there are friends around, neighbors, kids your own age. And in that neighborhood, you generate a lot of memories. So what we're going to do today is we're going to use our neighborhood to think of some ideas for our writing. Here's how we're going to do it. There is an author whose name is Jack Gantos, and he was the one, I think, that came up with this strategy. So what he did was he drew a map of his neighborhood, and this is one of the pictures that he's drawn in the past. So if you look at this, it looks like he lived on kind of a U-shaped road, and he's got a whole bunch of the houses labeled. And if you look at the bottom center of the picture, it says Gantos, so that must have been his house. Okay. He has a dog in the picture, and you can't really tell what, it looks like different rooms in his house or something. It almost looks like there's a bathtub there, and maybe a book. And he's got a dog. Then it looks like a little headstone. You know, now that I think about it, I think, and you see the alligators in the middle? I read somewhere that he lived in Florida, and one of the stories that he thought about was that his dog was eaten by an alligator. I think the headstone is for his dog. Isn't that sad? Anyway, if you look around, there is a mean dog, so maybe he had some sort of altercation with this dog. Up at the top of the screen, it says grumpy old people. So there are probably some old ladies and old men that lived in those houses, and maybe he threw a baseball through one of their windows. Who knows? Over on the right-hand side, it shows a picture of Jack, Pete, and Betsy. And I'm going to say, from the looks of them, they were probably the bullies of the neighborhood. And I bet you that was some good stories that he could tell. There's an airplane in here. There is down at the bottom near the right, it says pagoda. And it almost looks like he's got a bullseye on the top of that house. I wonder if he had that for a target. On the other side of his house, there's Velvucci, it looks like, and there's a boat in the yard, so there's probably some story behind that. Anyway, he used this and thought of all different types of things that happened in his neighborhood, and it generated ideas for him. So what you're going to do today is you are going to make your own map of your neighborhood. It can be the whole town of Danforth if you live in Danforth. It can be Brookton, Weston. It can be just the houses that are nearby you. Anything that you want to do is fine. So what I did is I drew a picture of my neighborhood. As you can see in here, near the top on the left is where my house is. And you can see my driveway kind of, it says hill right on it. We used to drive down on that hill, and in the wintertime it was awesome. We had everybody come over and we went sliding. You can see my little sled right there. Near the bottom of the hill, there's like a lump, and we used to build these lumps out of the snow, and we'd fly over these bumps. So that's a good memory for me. There's lines up and down on the road, and I used to ride my bike back and forth all over the place for hours on end. Over on the left, it says lake. And then there's a picture of a cup. And it says John's Cup Debacle. And this was when my brother was little. He and a friend of his took a box of 1,000 white cups and dumped it all over the yard. My mother looked out the window and thought it had snowed, but she knew better because it was the middle of the summer. My brother was always getting in trouble. I have notes written in pencil all around there, but there are some other, the blue marker, we had neighbors named the Cartons, which is in the top in the center. Over on the top right it says Huxleys. Those were our other neighbors. They had a circular driveway, and we used to play tag in the middle of that. There was a real special tree that I used to climb in their yard. Over on the right, there's a picture of a girl, and it looks like she has long hair, but actually that's my sister, and she had a towel. She wanted long hair like I had, and she would always cry and whine when my mother combed her hair. So she would put a towel on her head and ride her bike all over the neighborhood, and I was so embarrassed. Down below her it says the Hills house was over to the right. I had a friend named Connie, and they had horses. You can kind of see a little crude looking horse underneath my sister's pictures. Anyway, this is a way that I have generated a whole bunch of ideas. And this is what I want you to do today. Now, when you're done with your map, and you don't have to be totally done because you can always add to it, what I want you to do is open up your notebook, and inside the back cover, I want you to glue your map in there, but I only want you to glue half of it. So first you're going to fold your map in half, put glue on the back of only half of it, and then you're going to glue it into your notebook. That way it'll fit, it'll be there whenever you need to, and you can kind of open it up and look at it. The substitute has some white paper for you. I suggest you sketch it out with pencil first. I did it in marker because I was doing it for the 6th and 7th graders with my camera phone, and it was hard for them to see with pencil. But I suggest you do it with pencil. And then every time you can't think of something to write, you can go back to this map and add some details and think of some more stories. Okay, behave yourselves. I'll be back on Tuesday. I'll see you guys. Good luck. I can't wait to see your maps. Bye.